More than 20 minors between the ages of 5 and 17 years have been intercepted by the SANDF and the Border Management Authority near the Limpopo River. The Beitbridge border fence, the children are believed to have been on their way to Zimbabwe. The BMA says only one of the 10 adults is a parent of one of the children. Newzroom Afrika's Scara Mafokoane is tracking that story for us and joins us now live. A very good afternoon to you, Scara. Any more information? Because earlier the details were a bit sketchy as to what the relationship of these children was with the adults who were accompanying them, and exactly who they were and why they were traveling in such a group with only one direct relative being part of the trip.
Good afternoon to you, Bravuya. Indeed, we do have an update at this hour, but it's a very worrying story. I mean, the interception, Bravuya, has raised serious concern here at the border regarding the child protection, the possible exploitation, and the non-compliance with the Immigration Act here at the border. So what we can brief our viewers on at this stage is that those 20 minors plus the 10 adults who were with them, who were intercepted not a short distance from where I am, in the bushes near the Limpopo River, have been deported to Zimbabwe. So they are under the authority now of the Zimbabwean government and the Social Development Department in that country. So that's what we have established so far. They have been moved, they have been deported back to their country. What we do know, what we've established, is that all of the people intercepted are of Zimbabwean nationals. We were told that they traveled from Gauteng, different places from Tembisa, Centurion, and the Pretoria area. How they traveled, the mode of transport, which route they took, where they got off, all those the BMA, together with law enforcement here, had not established. But however, they took a decision that, together with the Social Development Department here in South Africa, to take them to Zimbabwe, where law enforcement in our neighboring country will be enforced. But it's worrying now, Bravuya, that you had the youngest of them being 5 years of age, who was walking with the group. So we believe and we are told that they were with some gomas. These are spotters. These are facilitators of people crossing at the border through the river. And I can tell you at this hour that the SANDF, actually, we saw about 10 to 15 members of the SANDF who descended to the border, accompanying General Singo from the Joint Operations Headquarters in Pretoria. They have since went to observe a drone surveillance which identified this 20 plus with the 30 individuals, 20 minors plus the 10 adults. They were viewing those footage, and they will be doing a walkabout going towards the Limpopo River, where they're doing observation of operations taking place along that river. So the SANDF are there together with one of their generals, and the BMA as well. They will be moving in that direction to go observe there. But I mean, that did not deter the movement from Zimbabwe to South Africa. As the general was viewing some of that footage, we went live with the drone, and we noticed, Bravuyo, at least 5 individuals in a boat, again, a few minutes ago, crossing the border. So it seems that regardless of the interventions that have been put in South Africa to intervene and intercept the movement of goods and people illegally, it's still not deterring these people. So that's as things stand here at the border. But let's take a listen to what the conversation I had with the port commander here at Libombo, what he had to tell us about those 20 minors plus the adults who were arrested with them.
This morning, as we always do, we had an operation with the Defence Force on the river, where we used our drone to detect what's happening on the drone. So what we saw is that we detected around 20 minor children that were being facilitated to cross the border to Zimbabwe. And obviously, in that group, there were also 10 adults that were intercepted. So all in all, were 30 that were intercepted. When we brought them to the border, just to interview them in terms of where they are going and establish if there's relations between the minor children and the parents, we pick up that there's only one parent who can account for one child in the group of 20. So meaning that 19 of them did not have a guardian or a parent with them. What we know also is that these kids are coming from Gauteng, Johannesburg, Pretoria, where their parents are residing, and therefore they're being shipped back to Zimbabwe for school reopenings. And for us, this is a problem that we experience every year during this time. From our side, we've got social development that will take over to ensure that the children are not traumatized, the children are assisted in terms of being reunited with their parents. But on the Zim side as well, they've got social services that are waiting for us to hand over those kids to them, so that they make sure that the kids are handed over to their parents, not to any third party who might further violate their human rights. So I think from our side, we're careful when we deal with minor children to ensure that we do not further frustrate them, we do not traumatize them. Where we pick up that there are kids who are obviously showing signs of being scared or being vulnerable or being traumatized, we then invoke services of social development to come on board with the experts to guide the children through the process. So we do not become as harsh as we will be to any normal illegal migrant. We would try to ensure that we do not violate the rights of children.
And it's very worrying, when I spoke to the port commander earlier, he talks of the children being reunited with their parents, but it has not been established if the parents are indeed in Zimbabwe. So all those details now, we do not know. In actual fact, they believe that the parents could be in Gauteng and they were put on a bus or whatever mode of transport they used to come here. So serious concern at this border. As we're seeing, there's during the week, there was less movement and activity at the border crossing, but more activity, illegal activity rather, in the bushes at the Limpopo River. We expect, Bravuyo, that today being Thursday, tomorrow we're expecting a bit of a peak towards Sunday of movement of people from Zimbabwe coming to South Africa. Of course, you'd know that, Bravuyo, on the 14th of January, which is next week, schools will be reopening. And in fact, I spoke to a family which was driving from Zimbabwe, crossing the border to to South Africa, going to Knysna, already in the Western Cape. And they told me that, they decided to leave early on, not to the weekend, so that they can start preparing the children for school next week. So that is the status as things stand here. Those minor children have been deported to their respective country, which is Zimbabwe. They are under the care of the Social Development Department that side, but it has not been established whether their parents are in Zimbabwe and will be taking them guardianship of those children.